What is up, everybody?
GC and
we got a Triple H is a bad booker on the complete misuse of Karrion Kross.
Unbelievable.
Now, I was recently inspired over a post where somebody was basically saying that Kross has become Marc Mero 2.0.
Kinda, yeah.
And they were saying that Kross, he's basically a jobber nowadays. And I think far too often people say, oh, well, Vince buried him with the gimp suit. Let me put it this way. Triple H was doing him no favors in black and gold.
No.
Had him publicly buried by Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Had him publicly buried by that skinny little fucking twig bitch. And Kross was never allowed to have comeuppance.
No.
He just got to stare at him hard.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's where the fuck up began. That's where the road to dissing Kross began, was where they allowed him to get fucking cucked out and bitched over in NXT.
Now, with that being said, I appreciate that Triple H brought him in and Scarlett, but at the same time, when you bring him in, don't water him down to this degree.
Well, if anything, it shows you that he's going to have preferences. Yeah. And obviously his preference was people who were higher on the totem pole of Dave Meltzer 5-star matches. Kross has never been a candidate. Cole, constant candidate. Constant, especially with his matches with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Constant candidate. Finn Balor, constant fucking candidate.
But because we're like 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. How in the hell does he not have a match at WrestleMania?
A lot of it has to do with the fact that I personally believe that after Kross was talking about things on certain radio shows, I think Triple H was like, oh, so you don't appreciate it. All right, fuck you then. Well, and just look at the absurdity of the fact that they've been doing a feud with Rey Mysterio now for 2 months? Haven't done any sort of crossovers with Judgment Day. I mean, it's pretty much Judgment Day versus Rey Mysterio and Edge at this point, and they're doing fucking nothing to tie in Kross with Judgment Day.
No.
So how does that do anything for Judgment Day? Because they have a hot feud going into WrestleMania, and they're not showcasing it. Why? So we can see Dominic versus Rey.
And I get telling that story, but at the same time, you don't forget about Kross, who you brought in with, it looked like you were trying to promote him and build him up. And then you 50-50 book him, and then now he's not even on TV.
It's sad. It really is fucking pathetic. And not only that, but Kross, he has been doomed from the get-go, because we had high hopes for him when we saw him get signed to that NXT class, where we're like, all right, you know what, maybe this guy, maybe he's going to come in and Triple H is going to push him heavily. We even did an appreciation video to thank Triple H for signing a key talent like Kross. Mm-hmm. But what fucking happens? What fucking happens is he takes a key talent like Kross and he puts him to the side, puts him to the back burner over people who will get him 5-star Meltzer ratings. Like we said before, that's all this fucking big-nosed idiot cares about is praise from Dave Meltzer and the internet. He doesn't care about people who could actually be future stars for the company and do something for the company. And people always ask us, why do you guys put Kross on such a high pedestal? Because we saw what he did on the indies. Mm-hmm. We saw what he did in Impact Wrestling. And we see what he currently does with his videos on YouTube and Twitter that aren't allowed to be shown on WWE TV. Mm-hmm. That's where our fucking frustration comes from, because we actually take a look at this fucking guy. We know him. We know what he's capable of. And to see 2 fucking bookers now completely misuse him. Actually, take that back. 3 bookers now.
Yep.
Take that back. 4 if you include Court Bauer.
Yep.
So that's Court Bauer, fucking Don Callis, fucking Triple H, Vince. And better believe Tony Khan would do the same fucking thing.
Yep.
This guy has been so misused and abused by the industry at this point. I feel fucking bad for him.
Well, it's true, because when you look at Kross and you see his videos that he posts, production's great, promo is captivating, and you know that you can get more out of this guy.
And there's no cussing or blood, so you could show it on TV.
Of course.
I'm trying to really figure out why the fuck they wouldn't take something that people could get invested in the character about and show it on TV to fill up time.
Because it's all about ego. It's all about, Karrion Kross is my creation.
Your creation that you're fucking holding down and keeping from fucking growing, you stupid asshole.
This is not Kevin could literally look me in the face and say, it was all my idea. I would say, you're fucking lying to me. How do I know? Because I know you can do better than this.
Right.
I know I've seen you do better than this.
We've seen it.
This is way, way, way substandard for Karrion Kross, for Killer Kross, and
even for Scarlett. Look what they've done with. We know the talent and ability of Scarlett, and they're wasting her as fucking a stupid valet. This woman can talk better than 95% of the women on the roster. She can wrestle better than a good 95% of them. She is a top-level main event women's star, and they will not fucking use her like that.
No.
They fucking hate Kross and Scarlett so much, and it pisses me off because here you have two people, both male and female, a couple. You could separate them. They would be top stars. So you can keep them together. They would be bigger stars. But somehow WWE has found a way to fuck that up royally and disrespect two people who could actually benefit them. Two fresh faces to WWE. They aren't rehashed talents.
Nope.
They aren't fucking bitch-ass indie darlings. Yeah, they did their time on the indies, but these guys are marketable. That's what trips me out so fucking much and why they get so much fucking hate. They are marketable. You could put either one of them on a poster and you got fucking stars. They walk through the airport, look like fucking stars. And yet here they are getting used and abused by WWE. It is so unfucking believable that you have two talents like this and you do nothing with them.
Mm-hmm.
And what has Scarlett been since NXT? A fucking goofball that sings along to Kross's theme.
And throws fireballs at Drew McIntyre. It's like, is this the best you could do creatively?
Well, and here's another thing, too, with Kross. Here's a guy, he's not fucking small. No. He's a big dude. He's like 6'3", 245 pounds. He's a big fucking guy. He's easily WWE heavyweight size, and he is not being used in a mid-card title feud. He's not even being used to his full capacity for a heavyweight title feud. They aren't using him in any sort of important, meaningful feud, to the point where he's even getting jobbed out by the king of cruiserweights, Rey Mysterio. Look, they don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing, and they don't care.
Yeah,
they really don't give a shit. And it's sad because even if Kevin leaves WWE, where else is he going to go that's going to treat him well?
Well, that's what I said. It's like, look at all these companies that have used him before.
Yeah.
I mean, in NWA, God forbid he goes there, he'd be their top star, but nobody's watching.
Yeah.
MLW, they wasted their chance on him. Fucking Impact Wrestling, they abused him the fucking most simply because of Don Callis and the bullshit he had going on with Scarlett.
Yeah.
They abused the fuck out of him. WWE is coming really close to abusing him like he got abused over an Impact. It's coming really fucking close.
I mean, at least they're paying him more than he ever got, but at the same time.
And he's on the road with his wife. That's about all he really has to offer. But at the same time, though, here's a guy who can be offering so much more to the industry, and they won't tap into that potential. That's what really trips me out, is you have fresh faces, people who have done their time on the indies. They know the business. They know how to go out there and captivate the fucking crowd, like LA Knight, like Elias, like Baron Corbin, like fucking Kross, and you don't use them. You don't fucking care. Why? Because they can't get you your fucking Meltzer 5-star points.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that, instead of actually making people who look like larger-than-life stars.
Or catering to the people that take Meltzer seriously.
Right.
Which is why we shit on Triple H so much, is he hyper-serves, exclusively caters to the neckbeards.
Yep.
That's who he caters to. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't fucking do that. And, you know, back to Kross's character, it's like, no, that is the reason why he's not over. The reason why he's not over is the character's personality is so bland. He does nothing.
Sad to say.
And then people wonder, I don't get why he's not over. Because he's boring. Not inherently. I've seen him be entertaining when he was Killer Kross. Karrion Kross is a watered-down Killer Kross.
He's being told to tone it down.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me, is that from day one, we've told Triple H and Vince what to do. Make him the killer, but they don't want to do that.
Nope.
They do not want to make him a killer. That's what has made him a success over in Impact Wrestling when he first started out, when we first saw him, is he was destroying people. He had the shaved head. He had the American Psycho sunglasses. You know, he looked like the guy who would fuck people up.
And he had an imitatable gimmick.
Yes. Yes. He was somebody who kids could have dressed up for as Halloween.
Of course.
He's somebody who had a somewhat believable type gimmick because of the fact that it was realistic that somebody could be a hitman in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what he came across as, this ruthless, cold-hearted hitman who was taking out people left and right. And it was believable and viable because he was the killer. He was Killer Kross. And what has he done with Karrion? Be an embarrassment.
Yep.
Be a fucking joke.
Lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose. It's like now we can't take him seriously. And he did the same thing with LA Knight.
Now, I know kill is a bad word to Vince. It's one of his banned words.
Just call him Kross with a K.
Simple as that.
Just Kross.
And it's so much more manageable. Because look at what he did with Matt Riddle. Changed him to just Riddle. Single word. Asuka. Single word. This is somebody, you bring him in just as Kross and just have him fuck people up. It's a simple, it's like it writes itself. It's so fucking easy.
So if they don't know what kind of personality to give him, here's what you do. You take the loose cannon Brian Pillman's personality from that gimmick. You have Karrion Kross implement that into his character.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, just have Karrion Kross act like loose cannon Brian Pillman. There you fucking go.
It's so easy to do, yet they will never do that because Triple H, I'm telling you before, he knows that a guy like Karrion Kross, like Kross, can adversely affect his legacy. Why? Because Kross has way more talent than he ever did. Way more fucking talent. And you want to talk about a guy who's a legitimate badass? This guy trains on the side. He could be a professional MMA fighter if he wanted to be.
Sure.
I've seen his fighting documentary, okay? He could be a professional fighter. He chooses to test the waters in WWE because this is what he grew up on. He's a lifetime pro wrestling fan. And this is how he gets promoted for his love for pro wrestling. He gets abused by a guy who reached out to him and brought him in. And people always blame Vince. Oh, look, he had him dressed as a gladiator. He's the one to fucking blame.
No.
Okay, Triple H hated him way before that. Yeah, he made him NXT champion. He also brought him in that job as NXT champion on Raw. Well, don't forget that.
Being the NXT champion means nothing because Bo Dallas was the NXT champion.
Right.
Like, it means nothing.
Right. That whole Killer Kelly thing was before he did the ban.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Vince is a fucking weirdo when it comes to certain words, but kill apparently is one that really pisses him off.
Just call him Kross. And Kross went by that originally in his career. Mm-hmm. He went by that.
And here's the biggest thing is Kross is not injuring people. He's not a backstage headache.
No.
He doesn't get injured.
Nope.
He shows up on time. He does his fucking job.
He's respectful. He's polite.
What is the big fucking deal? He's a smart guy that gets the industry. What is the big fucking deal with not using this guy?
You know what it might be? Vince, it might be that he just doesn't have that ambition. He's not willing to backstab. Is that what this is?
Well, but at the same time, look at all these ass-kissing fucking marks backstage who are being promoted like Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So it really makes you think one of those things where I think that Triple H is in firm control of these wrestlers' destinies. And if he notices somebody who can outmatch his legacy, he'll put them under his thumb and make sure that they don't get to a certain point. I mean, he knows that guys like Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins will never, ever touch his legacy. Ever. He knows that. That's why he's like firmly behind pushing them. Same thing with Sami Zayn.
And we've said it many times before, but like Triple H is the guy that literally said, I don't see the big deal with John Cena. Like, you can't miss the fucking boat that bad. You can't put that person in charge of talent development and creative.
He's only there because of his dedication to WWE.
Of course. If
he weren't so dedicated and a quote unquote hard worker, he wouldn't get anywhere.
No, he wouldn't be anywhere.
Maurice was saying, isn't it shocking how even Triple H doesn't like Karrion Kross, and Triple H was the one who brought Kross to WWE? That's a funny thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that trips me the fuck out. You went and scouted him and brought him in. You even brought in his wife as a goodwill favor, and you completely abused and trashed both of them. Scarlett, at this point, should be competing for a SmackDown Women's Championship.
I agree.
Kross at this point, especially since you brought him in to fucking feud with Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, should be feuding with Reigns.
He should be.
And you fucked that up. How does a guy get this devalued when he's such a dedicated workhorse, when he's a company man? That's what I'm trying to really figure out. I really would love some backstage dirt on what Kross has done to devalue himself when he will do anything for the company. I do not fucking get the disrespect. I don't.
It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't fucking make any sense at all. And it's not going to get any better. Trust me, if Vince takes over full Saudi control, and you're going to see the game costume come back.
Yeah, probably.
I don't understand why Vince and Triple H hate him and his wife so much. I don't get it.
Well, and again, Vince is the guy that literally said, and Stone Cold confirmed this, damn, he told me he is to never talk. Vince literally did not want Stone Cold to talk.
What an idiot.
Like, this is like Vince, he is a genius, but he does miss the boat from time to time.
Yes, I mean, and that genius is deteriorating with age. I mean, he's not as sharp as he used to be.
No.
And this is obviously a reflection of that, what he did with him in the whole fucking GIMP costume.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he actively tried to bury Kross. You can't say otherwise.
Yeah, I disagreed at the time, but I mean, it's totally obvious he was trying to bury him.
And it sucks that the rest of the community can't see his talent. That's the biggest thing to me, is that they will call him Marc Mero 2.0 and don't dare to give him any sort of credibility for how good he is.
Because they don't want to go see his other work. They want to judge what he's done in WWE alone.
That's the litmus test.
Oh, God.
Shut the fuck up. Look outside. And I know we kind of sound like smarks when we're talking about that shit, but the fact of the matter is that we're talking not about wrestling matches. We're talking about promos and character development.
Yeah.
Something WWE desperately needs. When you got the fucking Sami Zayn bloodline as your biggest storyline, you need something else. Okay? God, it's so frustrating.
It really is. And Karrion Kross is one of the creative types, so, he's a guy that you could rely upon for creative ideas. It's like, hey, and he'll give you good creative ideas. But but Bray Wyatt's got the same kind of problem.
Right. That
could be why they're also burying him, is that maybe he's a little too creative. Maybe he pitches ideas and they don't like that.
They shouldn't look down upon that, but that's how it is in WWE. If you don't blindly say yes to all their shitty ideas, that's how it is.
Or if you bring ideas, because Triple H did the same thing with Elias. Where Elias would constantly bring ideas and be like, all right, I'm going to jump you the fuck out. You need to be humble. You think too much of yourself. You think you're like a big box office draw or something. I'll make you a fucking main event opener in no time. Well, I mean, at least he went on to become a top merch seller on the main roster.
Asshole. This is all because of that big nose fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Blame him.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been an end to our bad booker. NC.
JCN.
Peace out.